Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering you owe money you can never fully pay back. Not because you spent too much, not because you were reckless, but because the system was built that way. Now imagine that borrower isn't a person, it's a country. That's not a metaphor, that's the global economy. Right now, countries owe each other tens of trillions of dollars, not accidentally, not temporarily, permanently. And the strange part is this: everyone knows it can't all be repaid, yet the system keeps running anyway. So why does it exist at all? And why does it matter right now? Because rising interest rates, trade wars, currency stress, and geopolitical tension all pull on the same invisible thread. Let's start simple. Countries don't borrow money the way people do. A household borrows to buy something specific, a car, a house, then slowly pays it back. Countries borrow to keep the system moving, to fund budgets, to stabilize currencies, to manage trade, to avoid collapse. And they borrow from three main places: other countries, private investors, and institutions like the IMF and World Bank. But the most important borrowing happens quietly, through government bonds. When a country needs money, it sells IOUs, promises to repay later with interest. Those IOUs are bought by other countries, banks, pension funds, and central banks. On paper, it looks clean. In reality, it creates something strange, because once a country becomes large enough, paying everything back would break the system. Here's why. Take a major economy. It runs a deficit, spends more than it collects, so it borrows. Now imagine it suddenly decides to fully pay off its debt. To do that, it would need to pull massive amounts of money out of the economy. Higher taxes, lower spending, less investment. Growth would stall, jobs would vanish, markets would panic. Ironically, paying back the debt would cause more damage than carrying it. So the debt stays, rolled over, refinanced, extended. Old debt is paid with new debt. Not because leaders are careless, because the math leaves no other option. Now, layer countries on top of each other. One country runs a trade surplus. It sells more than it buys. Another runs a deficit. It buys more than it sells. The surplus country ends up holding the deficit country's debt, not as charity, as strategy. Those bonds become reserves, collateral, leverage. This is how countries owe each other money without a clear end. It's not a loop meant to be closed. It's a loop meant to stay balanced. And balance doesn't mean zero. It means manageable imbalance. Here's the uncomfortable part. Global debt grows faster than global income, always has, because interest exists, and interest demands expansion. If the world tried to fully deleverage at once, trade would freeze and currencies would break. So instead, debt grows alongside the economy, sometimes faster. Now add currencies. Most global debt is denominated in a few dominant currencies, especially the US dollar. That means many countries borrow in money they can't print. When their currency weakens, their debt gets heavier, not because they borrowed more, because the unit of measurement moved. This is how crises begin, not with default, with pressure. Capital leaves, currencies fall, interest rates spike. Suddenly, manageable debt isn't manageable anymore. And yet, here's the irony: the lenders don't want repayment either, at least not all at once, because those debts are assets. They sit on balance sheets, back financial systems, anchor reserves. If a major borrower collapsed, lenders would suffer too. So everyone pretends. The debt was rolled forward, never truly settled. That's why the phrase paying off national debt sounds responsible, but is mostly fiction. The real goal isn't repayment, it's credibility. As long as markets believe a country can keep rolling its debt, the system holds. Lose that belief, and everything changes fast. Now, zoom out. Why does this matter today? Because interest rates are higher, growth is slower, geopolitical trust is thinner. The system relies on confidence during calm periods. Stress reveals the cracks. Countries that once borrowed cheaply now face painful refinancing. Currencies compete, alliances strain, and every nation is quietly asking the same question: who will blink first? The truth is, global debt isn't a bug. It's a feature of a system designed to grow, trade, and stabilize across borders. But it comes with a cost: permanent obligation, permanent dependence, permanent risk. No final payment, no clean slate, just rolling promises layered on top of each other. So when you hear that countries owe money that can never be repaid, don't picture irresponsibility. Picture a system where repayment isn't the point, stability is, until it isn't. And that leaves one unresolved question. If the global economy runs on debt that must never fully end, what happens when the world stops believing it can keep going?